Hi, my name is Eric, and I'm the creator of the 3D Reps. I want to thank you very much for purchasing this offer. We're going to jump right into the tutorial here, but first I want to let you know that we're using DaVinci Resolve 15. I highly recommend getting this app. It's free. You could download it off their website. It's right at the bottom of their page, the free download. The reason why I find it so good is it removes the green screen unlike any other video editing app I've seen out there. It's very clean. It's very quick, and it does a fantastic job compared to, let's say, Camtasia or other video editing softwares. But if you have one that works for you and you've mastered it, that's great. By all means, you can follow along with what we're doing here. It's the same process. We'll just jump right into the tutorial. Okay, first, make sure you have your files in the media pool. Of course, I have the two files here that I provide you with, the off and the on files. And then we have your audio file. This is going to be a file that you recorded, whether it's text to speech that you recorded, or you have a voiceover that you did yourself or you purchased. Of course, that's what you're going to load up in this media pool along with the video files. Okay, once you have that loaded, first we're going to drop the audio file in its place. Okay, drop that right there on the bottom. And then we're going to start with the MiClone off, or rather whatever avatar you have, it's going to be named whatever it is, and then off or on. In this case, we're going to have MiClone off, drag him to the timeline, and then we're going to match that up to the audio file. Okay, now we're going to remove the green screen by clicking on it, left click, make sure it's highlighted, and then we're going to drop down here to the color wheel. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the color picker. And then we're going to drop over here where it says HSL, open the window here, and then go down to 3D. That's automatically going to give you your color picker. So go here to the green and just left click in there. Notice over here on the node that you now have a transparent frame of his outline. What we're going to do is come over here to where you see this green dot, drop down, right click, select add alpha output, and then left click on the blue dot and then drag that over to the blue square on the node. Notice he was just removed there. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to come down here and we're going to invert it. As you can see, it took out the whole green and he's in place now. And notice here you have that green tinge. Again, like I said, in most video editing apps you're going to see this. You can lighten it as much as possible, but you'll often start losing color on him somewhere, whether it's the shirt or his skin. But if you're a master at it and you can get it to work, that's fantastic. But in this case, watch how cool this is. We're going to drop down here to where it says dispel. We're going to click it, and it is gone. Beautiful, right? Okay, so that's actually it. We can now go back and load our next video onto the timeline, onto video 2, and then of course shorten that up to match the others. And now you're going to left click on that, make sure it's highlighted, drop down to the color wheel again, and then make sure you're highlighted here in video 2, which we are. Okay, now you're going to have to reselect this, because if I went ahead and did this, okay, it's going to send me back to this menu. So of course, let's just you saw what I did, so let's click back on there, select 3D. Now we can do exactly what we did to the other one. Left click in the green, notice that he's been taken out there. Come over here, left click, add alpha output, drag it over, left click on there and drag it over to the square, and then we're gonna come down here and invert, and again do the same thing, dispel, notice it's gone. Okay, now we can go back to our editing the timeline here, and this is where the fun starts. So we're going to start zooming in here. Make sure you get your waves nice and well, not that nice. We just want to get our spots so we can see them nice and clear. Okay, that we have no sound, and this is where we're going to do some editing to match his lips to the sound waves. Okay, so we're going to end up just editing, or rather cutting out portions of this top layer, which is the MiClone on, so that whenever there's a dead spot, the off will be revealed. As you can see, watch what happens. I'll press play, and you'll see his mouth move constantly.
Hello, my name is Michael. I am your 3D clone rep, and I am here to represent your message in a fun and unique way. I can be used.
Okay, so you heard where it stopped, and his mouth kept moving, which isn't too horrible. I mean, that's the way that some marketers have been doing it for years. But watch how fun this is, okay? We're going to come over here, and we're going to remove the portion where he's not speaking. Okay, so we're going to come up to this wavelength down here. Okay, drag it over, select the razor, and then we're just going to cut off this portion. Now I'm going to remove it by selecting the arrow here, dropping down, clicking on it, and press Control X. That's gone. Now watch. His mouth will not be moving.
Hello.
See, it didn't move until you heard him say hello. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come to the end of that wave, and then we're just going to take the razor blade, cut on that line, drag it over to the next area where he starts talking, cut there, and then you could either remove it right here and then, or you just move over to the next area where you see you have a gap, and go ahead and cut that as well. So razor blade, cut, drag that over, cut again, and as you can see, there's sound all the way through here. So we're going to remove these two pieces now by selecting the arrow, select our part, Control X, and then this area, Control X, and we're just going to do that all the way down to the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward this so that you can see it happen quickly, and then we'll just play the results. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so here, first let me get this out of here. Okay, towards the end, what we want to do is, remember, this is a simulated lip sync, so it's never going to be absolutely perfect, but he's moving his lips so fast and stopping where he needs to that it gives the illusion that it's lip synced perfectly. Okay, in order to get a perfect lip sync, you would have to have some serious animation done, and that will cost you a lot of money, and that defeats the whole purpose of this. Okay, so what we want to do here at the end is this: we got to make sure we can't stop it or cut it right at the edge, because his mouth will keep moving towards the end. So we kind of want to cut it short while there's still some sort of audio, and it just gives the illusion that he finishes right on time. Okay, so we'll cut that last portion, get the arrow, select it, and then Control X. All right, so now we're going to come all the way back here, and we're going to listen to him and just watch him as he speaks and see how he's lip synced with all the work we just did.
Hello, my name is Michael. I am your 3D clone rep, and I am here to represent your message in a fun and unique way. I can be used to present websites, video ads, marketing videos, social network posts, school projects, kids stories, and so much more. For only $19.99 you will gain access to the video files needed to lip sync me to any voiceover or text-to-speech audio recording by the use of any quality video editing software. You will also get links to the free tools that we use to create the very video you are watching right now, along with step-by-step video training that will show you how to edit me to speak for you. This includes a high-end
Okay, now you notice here kind of a little bit of
for you.
A little bit of a messy ending there, so you could just try to cut off a little piece beforehand before the sound actually ends, and let's see if that makes it any better. Okay, come back here, Press play.
How to edit me to speak for you.
No. Okay, so it looks better before. But, you know, you can play with it. And as you practice, you get better and better at it, and it looks more professional as you go along. Okay, so it wasn't too bad, so we'll leave that alone. And you get the sense of it. All right, you already saw the finished product. When you bought the product, you saw the commercial. So you get the point here. All right, it's that simple. You could do this on any one of the avatars. They're specifically designed to be edited this way. I almost forgot one thing. I also want to show you how to put a video background or any background, whether it's an image or video, into this scene. The one thing I didn't do was set it as a background layer to begin with, which is what I should have done. But this is a good thing to show you in case for some reason you forget yourself. Okay, if you need to put a background in and made a mistake that I made, if you need to put the background in after having already manipulated these video files, what you want to do is you want to take layer 2 or video 2 and create a video 3 by just raising that up above video 2. And then you're going to take video 1, put that up into video 2. And then we want to, of course, place our media in the bin, which I already did. Of course, you do that with whatever you want. We're going to take this now, this video, and scroll down and drop it into the timeline. As you can see, it fills the background in real nice. Now, if for any reason the background isn't filled, okay, what you want to do is you want to select the file, or rather the video, that you want to resize. Come over here and select the resize tool, and notice I can then resize the background according to my needs. All right, so that's another point I wanted to mention. Once you're done resizing the image in the back, you want to deselect that. And then we're going to show you how to, before we do that, we're actually going to extend this video file because it doesn't go along with the same time as the files above. What we're going to do is we're going to right click, copy, make sure you have your line brought over, and then we're going to paste, and just keep going all the way down the line and paste until you get to the end of the main videos there. Okay, and that'll make sure that you have something all the way through. Now, if the image really shouldn't overextend itself, but the video will, because it's timed exact. So you want to come over to the edge here and just kind of snip away what's remaining of that video in order to have it match with the other videos above. Okay, so that's that. Once you're happy with that, now we're going to get into rendering it so that you can save it as a video. First thing we want to do is you want to come up into this area, and first we're going to name it. So select File, and this is important because every time you render it, it's just going to be named Untitled, and it will erase the video that you had previous to it, which would also be named Untitled if you hadn't named it. Okay, so in this case, we're just going to put test, and then we're going to come back to video here, and then you want to select MP4 or whatever format you want to use. Okay, once you have that set, make sure the resolution is 1920 by 1080, which is standard, and so you wouldn't have to touch that unless, of course, you did for some reason previously. And that's it. Now you can add it to the render queue. You're going to select the folder that you want to save it in. Okay, we're going to replace that. And then, of course, you'll see it here, and this is ready to render. Okay, even though it's called Untitled Project, it's still titled, so don't worry about that. Once you go into the folder where it's being saved, you'll see the title of that. All right, and you just select Start Render, and that's going to render until it's finished. And that's it.